Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready to kind of like level up your running game?
Always.
All right, so today we're diving into strength training for runners,
Oh,
specifically how to build a plan that supports running performance. AND reduces injury risk.
yeah.
We're working with an excerpt from an article called Three Moves Every Runner Should Include in Their Home Training Plan, according to a physical therapist.
Sounds good.
And this isn't about just lifting heavy weights, right?
Right.
It's about those strategic exercises for functional strength
Mm-hmm.
to make you a more resilient and efficient runner.
Exactly.
So are you ready to discover how just a few key moves can make a huge difference in your running?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to highlight that we often get caught up in
Uh-huh.
new shoes or, the perfect training plan.
Right, right.
But strength training, it's really the foundation.
Yeah, okay. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So explain that a little more for me.
So, like, running every stride sends shock waves through your body, and if your muscles aren't strong enough to handle that,
Mm-hmm.
you're very likely to get injured.
So it's not just about, avoiding injury. It's about making sure your body can handle it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like giving your body a tune-up.
Okay.
Strength training strengthens those muscles that support your joints,
Okay.
improves your balance, and helps your body absorb impact more effectively.
Right.
That translates to a more efficient stride, better power output,
Gotcha.
and ultimately a reduced risk of injury.
Now, in the article,
Yeah.
we've got this physical therapist, Adrian DaCosta, who specializes in treating runners.
Mm-hmm.
And he really emphasizes that exercises like squats, deadlifts, and
Yeah.
heel raises
Yes.
are particularly beneficial for runners.
Makes sense.
And those just happen to be the three exercises that DaCosta recommends in this article.
Okay.
So let's dive into those, starting with calf raises.
Okay.
Why are those so important for runners?
I mean, think about it. Every stride.
Yeah.
Your calves are working hard, absorbing the impact and propelling you forward. Mm-hmm.
Stronger calves mean better shock absorption,
Okay.
a more powerful push-off,
Yeah.
and a more efficient and springy stride.
Like adding extra pep in your step.
Exactly.
Okay, so next up we have Romanian deadlifts, or RDLs.
Okay.
They look pretty intense, but I'm guessing there's a good reason why they're included.
Absolutely. They target the hamstrings,
Okay.
which, as we know, can be really tight in runners,
Uh-huh.
and that can lead to all sorts of problems, limited stride length, even injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But RDLs not only strengthen them, but they help lengthen them,
Wow.
leading to better flexibility and a more powerful push-off.
I've always struggled with hamstring flexibility.
Yeah.
Do RDLs really make a difference?
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's amazing. Consistent RDLs with good form, of course,
Of course.
can really improve your hamstring flexibility.
Okay, I'm sold on RDLs now.
Yeah.
So last exercise, goblet squats.
That,
Gotta admit, those are my personal favorite.
yeah.
What makes them so beneficial? Well, goblet squats are fantastic because they're a compound movement.
Hmm.
They work multiple muscle groups at once.
Right.
They're really efficient.
Okay.
But specifically for runners, they're excellent for strengthening the quads,
Right.
which are those powerhouse muscles that stabilize your knee and propel you forward.
So strong quads equals more stable knees
Yeah.
and a more powerful stride.
Exactly.
Okay, so the article also gets into specifics about sets, reps, and intensity,
Yeah, that's helpful.
which is really helpful.
Definitely.
And DaCosta acknowledges that these should vary based on your experience level.
Right.
He suggests beginners start with 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps
Mm-hmm.
at a moderate effort level.
So when he says moderate effort,
Yeah.
he's talking about a 5 or 6 on the rate of perceived exertion scale.
Right, the RP.
Yeah, basically how hard you feel like you're working.
Exactly.
Now, for experienced runners, he suggests upping the intensity on squats and deadlifts to a 7 or 8 on the RPE scale and aiming for 3 to 5 sets of 6 to 8 reps.
Gotcha.
But you always want to listen to your body, right?
Always, especially closer to a race.
Exactly. You don't want to overdo it.
Right, so
Yeah.
avoid that fatigue and ensure a smooth taper.
Right.
Okay, this is great. We've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
But I'm really excited to keep going and explore these exercises in more detail.
Me too.
So are you ready to dive into part 2?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Let's keep going.
Okay, so we talked about those 3, power moves and why they're so important for runners.
Yeah.
But let's kind of shift gears a little and talk
Yeah.
about how to make them work for you, not against you.
Yeah, and that's where this idea of approaching strength training with a mindset of sustainability comes in.
Okay.
It's not about punishing yourself in the gym,
Right.
It's about creating a routine that really supports your running goals and keeps you feeling good.
So consistency over intensity.
Exactly. Yeah, consistency is key.
Yeah.
Even just 2 or 3 dedicated strength training sessions a week can make a big difference.
Now, the article also talks about the importance of, progression.
Yeah.
How do we know when it's time to level up?
Well, you want to increase the weight reps or sets
Right.
when the exercises start to feel too easy.
Gotcha.
That feeling of challenge without overdoing it.
So we're aiming for functional strength.
Right.
Okay, and speaking of which, the article goes into detail on form tips for each exercise.
Yeah.
And DaCosta really stresses proper form.
It's so important.
Why is that so crucial?
Good form makes sure you're using the right muscles in the right way.
Okay.
It's not just about avoiding injuries, it's about maximizing those gains.
So it's like fine-tuning an engine to get the most power and efficiency.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into those specifics.
Right.
Starting with calf raises.
Yeah.
The article suggests standing with your feet hip-width apart, weight on the balls of your feet, and lifting up onto your toes, squeezing those calf muscles at the top.
And you can even progress to single leg variations or add weight as you get stronger.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, what about RDLs?
Yeah, RDLs.
I've seen some pretty bad form out there.
Yeah, you got to think flat back engaged, core,
Okay.
hinge at your hips, push your bum back,
Mm-hmm.
slowly lower those weights down your thighs, keeping them close to your body.
So really feeling those hamstrings working.
Exactly.
Okay, last one, goblet squats.
Okay, goblet squats.
What are DaCosta's tips for this one?
He says, hold a weight close to your chest, feet slightly wider than hip width apart,
Okay.
and squat down, keeping your knees in line with your toes.
Mm.
And again, flat back engaged core throughout the movement.
He also mentions focusing on tempo and tension,
Yes.
especially during that lowering phase.
Right. That controlled tempo is key.
Okay.
It helps you maintain tension in the muscles,
Makes sense.
leading to greater strength gains.
So it's not about rushing through it.
Yeah,
It's about quality over quantity.
exactly.
Okay, now how do we actually fit these sessions into our busy running schedules?
Well, DaCosta suggests starting strength training a few weeks before your main running block.
Okay.
It avoids overloading your body.
It's like priming those muscles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now, once we're in the thick of training, how do we integrate it without, messing up our running?
He recommends doing strength workouts on the same day as your hard runs.
Okay.
Followed by a rest day.
Gotcha.
That way your body can recover.
What about those of us with super busy schedules?
Yeah.
What if we can't make that ideal schedule work?
I mean, life happens,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
He says strength training on non-running days is fine,
Okay.
but you gotta adjust the intensity based on what you're doing the next day.
Makes sense.
You don't want to be sore for a key workout.
That is good advice.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started incorporating strength training, I went all out every time,
Yeah.
and my legs were not happy.
I think we've all been there.
Right.
Yeah, it's a learning curve for sure.
Well, that's why I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Me too.
We're giving everyone the info to make a plan that actually works.
Exactly.
I'm already feeling more confident about it.
Yeah.
It's just about making those small changes, finding those pockets of time.
Exactly. And remember, progress over perfection.
Right.
Consistency and gradual improvement are key.
Love it. We've covered so much already.
I know, right?
I'm excited to bring it all together in the final segment. Ready
Yeah.
for part 3?
Yo.
All right. So we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive into strength training.
Yeah.
We talked about why it's so essential.
Hmm.
We broke down those 3 exercises.
Right.
And we even discussed how to actually fit it all in.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that the article kind of hinted at, but didn't fully explore.
Okay.
We talked a lot about the physical benefits,
Mm-hmm.
injury prevention, increased power, better running economy.
Yeah.
But there's a mental side to it too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a real sense of empowerment that comes from feeling physically strong.
Okay.
It builds confidence,
Yeah.
and not just in your running, but in other areas of your life too.
I've definitely noticed that when I have a really good strength training session,
Uh-huh.
those hard runs don't feel quite as daunting.
Yeah, you feel more prepared.
Yeah. It's you've already proven to yourself that you can handle it.
Yeah, you've built that resilience.
Exactly.
It's
So it's
kind
strength training is this secret weapon for mental toughness,
it really is.
which is just as important as physical strength when you're pushing for those goals.
I think so. And the best part is
Yeah.
you don't need a fancy gym or anything.
Right.
Those 3 exercises we talked about, you can do them anywhere.
So no excuses.
Right.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one message you want to leave everyone with?
Just start.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to start.
I like that.
I know strength training can seem intimidating, but everyone starts somewhere.
Right.
You don't need to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Just start small, be consistent,
Yeah.
and gradually progress.
Progress over perfection.
Exactly. And there's so many resources out there to help you.
Yeah. Tons of stuff online.
Videos, articles, even coaching programs.
Right.
But most importantly,
Yeah.
have fun with it.
Yes. Don't think of it as a chore.
Right.
It's like an investment.
Yeah.
So to everyone listening, lace up those shoes, hit the gym or your living room,
Yeah.
and embrace the power of strength training.
You got this.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See you.